William Estevão has been on absolute fire this international break, and we have got a breaking news about him and Real Madrid. We have also got the truth behind Romeo Lavia rumor, Axel Disasi reintegration update, the Nicolas Jackson situation at Bayern Munich, and Chelsea securing another South American gem in Deinner Ordóñez. But before we get into this video, if you are new here, welcome to the channel. But if you have been following me for a while, you know the drills. Help your boy get to that 10k subscriber mark. Let's dive into it. Let's start today with a player who has been the headline of the entire international break. Because honestly, we are not surprised. I am not surprised. We are not surprised because we already know how good this kid is and how good he can become. But the rest of Europe, the rest of the world are finally starting to realize. Behind the scene at Real Madrid, there is a growing unease that the club never entered the race for Estevão while he was at Palmeiras. This comes directly from Bruno Andre, ESPN Brazil, who reported that the Brazilian gem was analyzed, and the decision not to move forward is now viewed with some regrets, given his immediate impact at Chelsea and on the national team. And let's be honest, we understand the regrets. According to BBC, Chelsea paid just £29 million to Palmeiras. £29 million for a generational winger who is already cooking on the international stage. That looks like a daylight robbery. Estevão has been an absolute fire this international break, scoring back-to-back for Brazil in the 1-1 draw versus Tunisia and in their win over Senegal. But the performance that set the internet on fire is the one against Tunisia, where he dropped a monster 8.0 rating. Played for 90 minutes, 1 goal, 0 assists, 2 key passes, 58% accurate pass, 1 long ball, 5 total shots, 2 on target, 1 woodwork, 69 touches, 2 successful dribbles. This is not a raw talent profile. This is an 18-year-old who is playing like he has been at this level for 5 seasons. He's productive, he's confident, he's constantly demanding the ball. That's why he has been the headline of this international break. And again, for us Chelsea fans, this is not shocking. We have been watching this kid for months. We know how ridiculous he is technically. We know how fearless he is in 1v1. We know that he has that Brazilian swagger, but also the intensity that fits the Premier League. But now the world is seeing it too. This is a winger who can create, score, shoot, dribble, and still put in a shift off the ball at 18, and that's the scary part. He's not close to his ceiling yet. Real Madrid regrets makes perfect sense. They have built their squad around young Brazilian superstar Vinicius, Rodrigo, Endrick. Estevão should have been the next one on that list, but they hesitated and Chelsea did it. And now they're watching him turn into a monster for both club and country. So yes, while Estevão has been the headline of the international break, he deserves every bit of spotlight. But for us, we have been waiting for this moment because we know exactly what we are getting. And right now, £29 million looks like one of the smartest transfer in world football. And while we are talking about young talent, let's move from one Brazilian wonderkid to another story that broke the internet this week. Because the rumors around Romeo Lavia, we need to clear those up. Reports came out claiming that Manchester United rejected Chelsea proposal including Romeo Lavia as part of deal for Alejandro Garnacho. According to Mark Oden, Manchester United rejected Chelsea offer of Romeo Lavia as part of the deal that saw Alejandro Garnacho move to Stamford Bridge, ultimately for £40 million due to concern over the 21-year-old fitness record. This story went everywhere. Everyone was reacting. Everyone had an opinion. But the real information came out. Fabrizio shut the rumor down instantly. He said, "My information is that Chelsea and Manchester United never discussed Romeo Lavia." He adds, "Chelsea deny all information of offering Romeo Lavia to Manchester United." So that's the truth. No offer, no swap, no Lavia Garnacho conversation. Fabrizio doubled down on Chelsea internal belief on Romeo Lavia on YouTube. He stated, "In terms of skills, in terms of development, in terms of potential, Chelsea believe in Romeo Lavia. Chelsea invested in him because they are convinced he can be something special in the future." And honestly, I agree, because Romeo Lavia is a player, in my opinion, we simply don't have another version of. Now, personally, I won't sell Lavia. We have seen Rhys James suffer same injury issues, and for the past 2 seasons, Maresca has managed James perfectly, and I hope Lavia gets the exact same treatment. He's a profile we don't have in the midfield, not even close. He's different from Caicedo, he's different from Enzo, and Chelsea hierarchy clearly sees that. Too. He's more press resistant than any midfielder we have. Incredibly secure in tight spaces, technically cleaner than people realize, and honestly he gives us control in ways other midfielders don't. This is a unique midfielder. You don't sell that type of profile, especially at 21. You develop him, protect him, you invest in him, just like Maresca has done with other injured players all season. And we're talking about players whose future has been questioned. Now let's move into Axel Disasi, because honestly this update surprised all of us. First of all, credit where it's due. Disasi has been putting in the work behind the scene. According to Bobby Vincent, Chelsea are planning on reintegrating Axel Disasi back into the first team squad over time, with the out of favor Frenchman impressing behind the scenes this season. So Chelsea aren't just writing him off. They are rewarding the professionalism, the attitude, the work ethic. And then we have got more information from Nizar Kansela. I reported last week that Disasi is being rewarded for his good behavior behind the scene and increased involvement at Chelsea. He played for the under-21, trained with the first team squad, and that opens the door for some minutes at senior level. But he remains for sale in January. So the door isn't fully open, but it's not shut either. Disasi has basically forced Chelsea to reconsider him by doing everything right. But the thing that shocked all of us was the pre-training footage. Disasi has lost a huge amount of weight. He looked cleaner, sharper, and honestly unrecognizable from last season. This isn't someone sulking. This is someone who wants to earn his spot back. And you can see mentally he's locked in. Physically he's transformed, and that tells you everything about his mentality. And I have to big him up for this, because a lot of players in his situation would have thrown a tantrum, caused drama, gone on social media, leak things, and bring tension to the dressing room. But Disasi didn't. He stayed professional, he kept working, he didn't complain, he didn't make noise, and honestly, we have to respect that. Not every player reacts like that when they are told they are surplus, but Disasi has shown character, and he's being rewarded for it. And since we are talking about players whose future look uncertain, let's talk about Nicolas Jackson, because this situation is getting clearer and clearer by the day. First of all, Bayern Munich position is very straightforward. According to CF Bayern Munich have no intention at the moment to trigger Jackson's buy option. So as of now, Bayern Munich aren't planning to keep him permanently. No negotiation, no positive signal. But it gets more interesting when you look at Jackson's own side of the story. According to Don Smith, Chelsea striker Nicolas Jackson has no plan to cut short his long-term loan at Bayern in order to see a permanent move elsewhere in January. So Jackson wants to stay for the season. Bayern don't want to buy him right now, and Chelsea are watching from distance. This is where it gets messy. Now personally, I think Jackson has burned a few bridges with the Chelsea hierarchy. Not in a dramatic, public way, but internally. The trust isn't what it used to be. The decision to send a striker on loan despite being one of the few senior attackers was already a huge sign. And if Bayern aren't already taking him permanently, Chelsea will definitely look for a new solution. Because let's be honest, the club's long-term planning makes it clear where this is heading. The arrival of Emmanuel Emega next summer tells us everything. Chelsea don't bring in a 22-year-old 6'4" striker who scored 14 goals, 3 assists last season to compete with Jackson. They bring him in to replace him. Emega is younger, fits Maresca profile better. He's more suited to our positional play, and Chelsea recruitment team don't make this type of moves unless they have already made a decision internally. And the decision is simple. Nicolas Jackson has no long-term future at Chelsea. And even if Bayern says no, Chelsea will try to sell. So yeah, unless something crazy happens, Bayern won't buy him, Chelsea will reintegrate him, and Emega's signing confirms the direction. And it's one-way road. Jackson will be sold. If not in January, then definitely in the summer. Now let's talk about a deal no one saw coming. Not even us. Because Chelsea have just added another name to their insane long-term youth project. Fabrizio dropped the bomb. Deinner Ordóñez to Chelsea, here we go. Agreement reached today for the 16-year-old talented defender to join CFC project. IDV accepts all conditions at Chelsea anticipate 3 top European club. The Ecuadorian will arrive in January 2028. Another top talent joining Chelsea multi-year blueprint. Now let me be completely honest. The first time I heard of this kid's name was the exact day Fabrizio announced it. And honestly, I don't think I'm alone, because most of us haven't heard of him before this. But instantly the noise around him started growing. People who follow South American youth football started talking. Clips started circulating, comms started flying around. And word on the street is very strong with this kid. People already calling him the Estevão of defense. A defender with the same combination of technical maturity, high ceiling at young age, and now of course, comms don't tell the full story. I've seen them, you have seen them, they're nice, but they don't paint the real picture. But the fact that Chelsea moved quickly, very quickly, while 3 other European giants were cycling, says everything. And this part is very interesting. Deinner Ordóñez plays for Independiente del Valle, the same club Moses Caicedo came from. And if there is one academy in South America that consistently produces technically polished and tactical intelligent players, it's IDV. They don't produce hype, they produce professionals. And that's why Chelsea scouts love that club. It's where Moses Caicedo came from, and it's why the Ecuador national teams keep getting stronger. And it's why Chelsea aren't waiting till he's 18 or 19. They secured him now. This is Chelsea extending their youth project further. People laughed at the long contracts. People laughed at the 17, 18 years old being signed years in advance. People called it FM football mode. Chelsea aren't just building a team. They are building a generation, a pipeline, a long-term empire. And Odense is simply the next draw. And with that said, that's the end of the video, my friends. Make sure you like the video, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. You go be.